Hello everyone and welcome to my most recent sketchbook tour. This little guy I bought at a Walmart. It's nothing special. I don't even know if it was meant to be mixed media. I got a marker sketch to start it off. I started this sketchbook this summer when I was still living in the Outer Banks of North Carolina. That's a bad sketch of my boyfriend from life. We went diving a shipwreck right off Luke Street, I think, that day, and I brought a marker, or maybe they were just surfing. I don't know. That is a girl named Lindsay that I used to work with at my old job. Drew that from life. A quote from Krista Tippett. I recently listened to an amazing podcast interview she did with an Irish writer or poet. I'll link it down below. It was really beautiful. These are gel pen sketches from life on the beach, of course. I love doing these. I feel like they're so fun. They're great to practice proportions, especially when you're working with, an unerasable pen, of course. It kind of helps you look at things really quickly in reference to each other to make sure that your sizing is correct, and you have to kind of think a little bit harder about what's going in the background versus foreground. Those were sketches from a job I had at a pier. It was dead a lot of the time. I only worked there for like 2 weeks. I had to get out of there. Some marker sketches. That same day, I did a marker sketch of a couple. You can see that I had ripped it out of that page, and it was a marker sketch of a couple at the pier, and I gave it to them, and they were really happy with it. And the husband, I assume, gave me a $20 bill for the sketch, and it was just really wholesome. I was into markers a lot earlier this year. I kind of brought them with me a lot of places. I journaled here about an osprey getting wiped out in surf. A note from my boyfriend's truck, a marker sketch of a girl on one of those cool plush old antique chairs. This portrait was really fun. Ballpoint pen, marker. I had a lot of fun with the angularity of this one in particular. These were thumbnail sketches for a cat portrait I was doing for a client. I was just kind of seeing what colors in the background would best complement the colors of the cat. Sandbar shark, those are encountered often in the Outer Banks. They're just always kind of there, whether you notice them or not. This is a cactus from my boyfriend's collection, also a ballpoint pen. I've always loved ballpoint pen. I love grayscale, and I love the definition you can create. You can get some really dark darks with it, which I really enjoy. This was drawn on a train from Pinterest, also from Pinterest, this dog. I really like going really detailed in one spot and then slowly getting more abstract away from the central focal point, which is really fun as a technique, and it's visually interesting. That guy on a horse thing is from Pompeii. It's a photo I took. That is one of the Tritons from the Trevi Fountain in Rome. This is a ballpoint pen portrait sketch. Found the girl on Pinterest. This is obviously the statue of David, which I was really grateful to get to see when I was visiting southern Italy. And another statue I had taken a photo of in some random museum that I don't remember the name of because we visited so many. Some cute little lamb studies. I think I did these while I was watching Dead Poets Society, and I cried. So same thing with the horses. I think those were both done while watching that movie, and I just keep thinking about Robin Williams. So here I switched to a mechanical pencil, which was kind of weird, but I decided to revert, if you could say. I don't think that's the right word I'm trying to use because it implies that pencil is less good than pen in developing artistic ability, which is not true necessarily, but I did revert back to pencil a little bit. That page was just a bad painting to test a clear gloss I was going to be using on a painting. This was inspired by the Venetian street lamps, of course. I don't think I mentioned this earlier in the video, but I moved to Venice for a master's degree is not working out, but that's a whole other story. A little cat sketch. This is a sketch from my terrace. It's kind of a view of the street across from me. This is one of the shells that I found on the Lido beach, a quote by Joni Mitchell. A random pressed candy wrapper. This is a sketch from really far down south in Lido. There wasn't much down there, but I decided to explore it one day via bus, and I didn't know what to do with myself, so I sketched for like a whole straight hour. Those are just some chicks from Pinterest, also in pencil. This was from life, Lido Beach, again. It was cool because in the winter they put up those artificial sand dunes, I think, as a way of protecting a lot of the little huts that they have as rentals in the summer. The other one was from life, from my town square just now, and then that one is from Pinterest, also pencil. This was pencil as well, right down the street from me in Lido di Venezia. Little hotel that I find really beautiful. I think I did a good job on the perspective on that one. Perspective's always been a little challenging to me. I'm never really good with technicalities. These are sketches from life drawn extremely quickly on the ferry or the vaporetto. These are from life at the beach in Lido. It was one of the last beautiful and warm days. I think it was late October. That guy was trying to sell me a blanket, but I thought he looked visually interesting, so I decided to draw him. People wading in the water. It is swimmable, but I do question the water quality given Venice is a major port city. There's a lot of pollution, but I've been in the water plenty of times. These are more sketches quickly from life, again on the ferry. Usually I'll try to snapshot a photo of it in my mind, or I'll get down the very basic shapes of a landscape or a building before it disappears as I move through the water, and then I do the rest from memory, so they're not entirely accurate. But I have had a lot of fun recently doing these from life sketches because they forced me to be gestural and loose, which is something I have struggled with in the past. But it's something I'm really trying to embrace both in my drawing and my painting. These two were from Pinterest. I had purchased this beautiful black colored pencil that I'm in love with. Clearly, I've been using it pretty much ever since. That is from the view of my room. Again, this one is up near San Elena or Giardini. This bridge as well. This is at, I believe this is from the Punta della Dogana on the way in to the island of Venice, of course. This is right across from Zattere, or the San Basilio stop on the Grand Canal. These were just some guys sitting on a bench. I thought the lighting was fun, so I played with some shadow there. I like to feature these three-pronged Venetian street lamps a lot in a landscape because it helps give context to exactly where I am, because I think that they are unique to this area, especially in detail. The three-pronged, which reminds me of the trident, a lot of mythological figures are referenced in the island of Venice, including Venus herself, also born of the ocean. Fun fact I learned in my Venetian art and archaeology class is that Venice from the sky is roughly in the shape of a fish. It was originally intended to be shaped like a dolphin, which is the symbol of the goddess of Venus. So it was just kind of supposed to pay a tribute to her as an icon. These are just more from life, same black colored pencil. I have fun trying to get people when they're not paying attention. And then nothing happened for a little while there, so I just started drawing people's shoes because I think people were noticing I was drawing them, and I was like, I'm sorry. I hope this isn't offensive to you. Ooh, that is a bridge right near St. Mark's Square. It actually mirrors an interior bridge called the Bridge of Sighs, which bridged the government building and the jail back in the day, which was an interesting historical tidbit. That one I just flipped away from was probably my favorite sketch I've done recently from life really quickly. These are just some more, boats. There's so much beautiful architecture here. It's hard to take it all in. I swear every single day I see something new and it's just stunning. That's the Academia Bridge. It is the last bridge that is still made from wood. The rest were converted to stone as the city was developed. You know, a gondola, a little waterside restaurant, a boat, a more detailed sketch of St. Mark's Square the day they put up the Christmas tree. My jaw dropped when I passed it because I went to class that day with no Christmas tree. On my way back, I saw it and I literally teared up a little bit. I was so excited. It was nice to have a piece of culture that I could finally share, if that makes sense, with the locals. Some more architectural sketches, people in a gondola. I love when they have these little mooring posts that are striped like that. So cool. Anyway, here's some sticker tour. My favorite is the Team Tofu sticker. I think I bought that in the Pacific Northwest a year ago or so. These were all painted in my sketchbook. They were for a series of paintings I did at the beginning of October called the Final Girl series, where I focused on main female characters of traditional or classic horror movies, you know, cult classics, people that survive to the end of the movie, usually. Defeat the killer or not, or just escape, you know. So just kind of supposed to be a semi-empowering or discussion-inducing series of Final Girls. Got Nightmare on Elm Street here. And then Carrie, this one was one of my favorites. These were all done with acrylic paint as well. Usually did an initial sketch. All of the Instagram reels I made for each and every one of these are available on my Instagram, which is at one.groovy.gal. It'll be linked below, so you can watch all of the process there. Though they're only 10 seconds long, each of them took me about 2 hours or so, so I thought I'd feature them in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching.